I am Kay Worth, and I approve of this message.
I've always been a music fan, and I've always been friends with music fans. I've had some pretty amazing conversations and met some pretty amazing people along the way. As a music collector, one of my favorite places to go is Amoeba Music. Amoeba Music Hollywood is the largest independent record store in the world. It's not just a record store, it's an iconic Sunset Boulevard landmark. Sadly, it's also one of the only places in Southern California you can buy vinyl records. I thought it was really cool when vinyl records came back as a trend, but the more I thought about it, are people actually appreciating the music? Or is it just a trend glorified by Tumblr and Urban Outfitters? Owning a physical copy of something your favorite artist made seems so important to me, and I don't really know why. Of course, it's harder when all the local record stores have closed down. I started to ask all my fellow music nerd friends what they thought about it. I was genuinely curious about what had happened to the music industry. I sat down with some of my friends to talk about their love of music and their music collections. Starting with one of the most punk music nerds I know, my boyfriend Anthony. We talk about music all the time, and he has a pretty sweet collection.
Has clams on it.
Clams! The big question, do you only collect physical copies of music?
No, I don't only purchase physical copies of music, but I honestly wish I did. I feel like it has more of a value to it when you actually can hold it in your hand rather than just having it on your hard drive or on the memory card of your phone. I grew up having music in my hands, and I grew up having someone show me music, actually showing me a physical thing. I feel like it adds this value to it that somebody made this. You think about people that make music and then you just download it off of their SoundCloud. It's better to have a physical copy of something, whether it be a vinyl or have it be a CD. But I just feel like it's better to have music in your hands.
Jenny and I bonded over our mutual love of pop-punk indie music and really saw a divide in our views when I found out she really only has digital versions of albums. It's respectable in some ways that she's such a big fan of music she only needs the digital version on her phone and doesn't actually have superficial value on a disc of plastic.
This one time in class, my friend offered me a CD that I actually wanted to listen to, and it was an album by Sea Haven. And she offered the CD to me, and I said, no, that's fine, I'll listen to it to Spotify, and that pretty much blew her mind because that is now an option with people, and especially with people that actually really enjoy music. And nowadays, listening to CDs and records isn't really the go-to option. It's mainly things like YouTube and Spotify.
I was that friend, and it did amaze me. I had a really interesting conversation with my friend Jonathan. He's not only an amazing guitar player, but he has a really cool record collection.
I bought me a guitar when I was 8 or 9, and then I sort of started playing, and then whenever I would hear a song that I liked, it would inspire me to go learn the song and try to play it, or find a cool guitar solo that some musician played, to try to learn it and try to mimic him so I can learn to play like him.
My friend Jonathan, why do you like music?
I like music because it sounds nice. It's something that helps me relax. Playing music and listening to music helps me relax and de-stress. Helps me de-stress. So that's why I like listening to music and I like music. I bought, this is one of my first record that I bought myself. The song Rhapsody in Blues, like George Gershwin.
Is it like swing music?
Yeah, it's from the 20s. It's like big band swing. It's really great. And like when I was little, I used to watch Fantasia, like, the Disney thing, and they had this song. It's like in the $1 section. So I was like, ooh, score. So then I bought it and I was really excited about it. And it's like kind of beat up and kind of scratched, but it gives it character. The CD that you own, like I can listen to the same music elsewhere, but it's like because I own it, it's like different. It means more.
I headed over to one of the only record stores I knew of in Torrance. PM Sounds. I knew the owner, Irving, was super knowledgeable and I loved having conversations with him, but while I was there, I met some really cool people. I learned a little about his musical background.
Well, I started DJing in the 70s, just little house parties and things, and just got addicted to records, buying records, and then I started my own production company, so I would do club work, private parties, all kind of things, and it was just fun up until like the 90s. And the music changed, like the gangster rap came in, and I was like, okay, I'm getting a little too old for this. And I liked some of the beats, the messages were kind of funky, and I just kind of,
Yeah.
So I said, it's time to open the store.
I learned a lot about the business that goes into owning a record store.
It's interesting because when I opened like 19 years ago, there were like probably 12 stores in this area. Now there's 2. Contrary to what people think, the more stores the better, because collectors like to come in the area where there's more than 2 stores.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stores that did close, they didn't carry vinyl. They carry CDs. And vinyl kind of, it's been a steady. I've always sold vinyl, so when people say, is vinyl making a comeback? Yes, a lot of younger people getting into it, which is nice. And then some of the older people are getting back into it. And it does sound better. No, it does. And I try not to be that old guy that don't like the new music because all the great music's already been made. No, yeah. I like a lot of the new stuff. Not a lot of it. I like some of the stuff I hear, and I'm open and hoping that there'll be some more classic stuff.
The past 19 years have held some pretty good experiences for Irving.
Met a lot of good people, like some of my best friends now.
It's a good community.
Yeah, yeah.
Collect music.
Yeah, you meet some strange people that collect records, and you meet some really, really nice people.
Yeah.
Alex Sato, a record collector and record store owner in Tokyo, visited.
I still live in California 20 years ago, and I started in record business, and I opened a store in Tokyo. Every 2 months I come back in California and buying rare records for my store. Yeah, I selling only vinyl, straight vinyl, no CDs and no MP3, digital stuff. It's only vinyl. Vinyl is better sound than the CDs and MP3, so that's why people still want the old records.
I had a lovely conversation with Angela Collins. She had a lot of good things to say about vinyl records and an amazing story about her experience at Woodstock.
Vinyl, I love vinyl because number one, it gives you a historical narrative of the artist. Vinyl, if you take care of it, to me, has a longer lifespan in terms of the longevity of the album. So I picked up a lovely album by Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix, who she saw at Woodstock.
It was the most beautiful gathering of people in this country, black and white. They were all coming together for a purpose to show that universally we're all the same. The music was a vital component to bring us all together, and the artists from the different cultures at that time was a phenomenon. I had a historical experience and a ball of my life to carry me to my grave. I'll always remember and savor the experience at Woodstock.
Smith is an extremely knowledgeable record collector and has been collecting since the early 60s.
My first introduction to a jazz came in the late 50s, early 60s. I started collecting in the early 60s, like 1960. And I prefer vinyl myself, but I'm not a technician, so I don't really be looking for, but then again, yes, you can notice the difference in the sound. And most of the vinyl sound more warm, more of a feeling to it.
I learned a lot in the couple days that I was at PM Sounds. It made me want to expand my record collection, think about music more deeply, my friends that I already knew, the new people I met along the way, all these amazing collectors and music fans that I had the honor to meet and get to know. So that's just it. The answer to my question. It's the people that collect records that keep vinyl alive.